let people miss out on you. At some point of time, entering your 30s or progressing to 40s and 50s, you realize I need this, especially for my retirement, not just for my woman if I don't have a woman, because she can leave you and destroy your life. All the homeless people I've spoken to, hey, why are you on the street? I used to have a nice big house, nice car, and let's watch this video and see.
At some point in our lives, we have to make a tough decision to let other people miss out on us. That might sound selfish, but sometimes it's the only way to find peace and to grow and find what truly matters to us. I realize that letting people miss out on us, it's easier said than done, because we don't want to hear, or we don't want to lose connection, especially with those who we care about. But sometimes it is necessary. Holding on to those toxic and draining relationships, all it does is keep us stagnant. Sometimes letting go of those relationships can be one of the most liberating moves we can ever make. Sometimes it's an old friend, and other times it might be family. We hold on to these bonds sometimes.
Ooh, that's a deep one. Other times it might be family. A lot of you guys are in denial, and some of you guys are like, You're nodding your head because you know what Ronnie is talking about.
All it does is keep us stagnant. Sometimes letting go of those relationships can be one of the most liberating moves we can ever make. Sometimes it's an old friend, and other times it might be family. We hold on to these bonds sometimes out of love, but at what cost? And when somebody you know does nothing but bring negativity into your life, you have to ask yourself, is holding on to this relationship helping me, or is it holding me back? Welcome back to another episode of Sweat Talk. My name's Chad. The first step to letting people miss out on us is setting those boundaries. These boundaries are an essential part of a healthy relationship. They show other people what we will and what we won't tolerate. And those boundaries are often a reminder of our own worth. And boundaries don't mean being harsh or violent, especially if we're not used to asserting ourselves.
Wow. Especially if we're not used to asserting ourselves. Let me skip and get back to this. But this shows you that very often you're going to have to let go in order for you to go somewhere. I didn't even press skip and then it took me to another ad. But very often you're going to have to let go before I let him carry on. You see, like a slingshot. Sometimes life needs to drag you all the way back before it propels you forward. Pew! You know, like a slingshot. And you're thinking, I'm going so far back, it seems like I'm losing all the progress I made. I mean, this friendship, if I just let it die out, I spent 15 years building it. Yes, 15 years building something that's been holding you back for over 25 years. It took you 15 years of building it, and it's held you back for over 25 years because you didn't let it go. Let it go.
Or even destructive. Boundaries are about respect for ourselves, as well as the relationship. They're about standing tall and standing our ground for what we believe in. When we set boundaries, we show that we value ourselves and we won't be pushed around. But setting those boundaries is not easy. There's an internal struggle that comes with setting those boundaries. You might feel guilty or afraid of rejection. You might even be worried about some sort of conflict. But in the end, if somebody truly cares about you and values your relationship, they will value those boundaries. And if they won't, then they are making the choice to miss out on you. I believe that this is an extremely important topic. I believe that this is an extremely important thing that we all need to do. And I've already made a video that is specifically for setting those boundaries. I will add an info card at the top if you want to go watch it. We have to remember that sometimes people that we care about aren't willing to meet us at our level. They may be caught up in their own lives, or sometimes they just simply don't align with us anymore. But I think that's okay. And I think that's okay because letting go doesn't mean that you stop caring. It means you are giving them space as well as yourself to grow. And when we allow others to miss out on us, it will create a vacuum. In that space, in that vacuum space, one of two things can happen. Either they can realize the value and respect what it is that they're missing, or they can leave, or they can just drift away, freeing us to pursue new and more fulfilling relationships. But either way, in both situations, we grow. Letting them miss out on us, it reminds them that our time, our energy, and our presence is a gift. We don't owe anybody our constant time, our constant availability or acceptance. If they want to be in our lives, they must respect our boundaries, our growth, and our values. I have a little story.
How can someone say they love you but not respect your boundaries, your goals, your aspirations, when you need time? That doesn't even make sense in and of itself.
That actually brought this topic up today. It's a personal story that just happened yesterday. And it taught me just how powerful letting somebody else miss out on us can be. So yesterday, I got a phone call from an old friend. In fact, he is, I think, my oldest friend. So he wasn't just a friend, he was more like family just about my entire life. When we were kids, we were probably 10, maybe 12 years old, and we rode our bikes everywhere. We'd explore the desert, we would ride our bikes down to the Colorado River in the summer heat. We built an absolutely epic 40-foot tree swing at one of the lakes where I grew up as a kid. Absolutely epic swing. We could climb up into a tree that was right behind the one where the rope was tied off and just launch, absolutely launch into that lake. I have so many memories, so many incredible memories with this friend. But as adults, our paths just simply diverged. And over the years, we'd kept in touch here and there, mostly just on Facebook. We never really even talked on the phone. And eventually, our conversations on Facebook took more of a contentious tone and became extremely negative. For a few years, him and I, we would go back and forth and we would just banter and debate. We tried to sit there and convince each other that one another was wrong. And eventually I realized it just wasn't worth it. My friend, he became extremely brainwashed by the media, and he had no idea. He had become brainwashed, and we became divided exactly how that system is designed to do, exactly how the people who are implementing that system want for this division to happen. And that system, it worked like a T. It worked like an absolute charm. But eventually I didn't keep pushing forward. I just let him be. I unfriended him because I couldn't put up with his political banter anymore. By doing so, I allowed both of us to miss out on each other. And I gave us that space that we both needed. I figured that if our perspectives are so far apart, I believed it was just better for me to step back than it was to keep fighting a losing battle. And then yesterday, out of nowhere, my friend called me. And we probably hadn't actually spoke on the phone in probably 10 years. And he sounded different. He sounded more thoughtful, more self-aware. He called me.
You know why? Because life beat the heck out of him. He couldn't help but think, wait, what if he was actually right all along? Because life chewed him up and spat him back out. He eventually realized, wait, they're using my energy whilst I'm young to work, to save up, because you want to buy and own a house and all of this. You get to own it when you're 69 or if that. And then you've realized that all of this was a scam. By then, if you're not wise enough to realize it right now in your 40s or 30s or however old you are, you realize that secretly deep down, this is a lie. Something went wrong. Somebody lied to me, man. Somebody lied to me. So wait, okay, yes, I own one house, but you realize so many things can go wrong right now and I could actually lose this house. Stop paying your property tax, stop paying your water bills and all of this. You'll quickly realize that, okay, yes, I own some bricks, which I beg to ask a question. Well, the funds that you saved so dearly and gave your whole life to save up for this one house, it was taxed before it was paid to you at your job. Then for you to purchase that building, that house that you're so happy about, that was taxed. All of the maintenance that you paid, they taxed every single thing. Oh my days. The flower just fell on me. Why? Because I'm out here spitting game and telling the truth to you guys. And the devil tried to flipping knock me out with this pot, with this flower pot. Okay? But it ain't gonna work. I'm still gonna share the truth to all of my people and make you guys realize that the whole system is rigged. The whole entire system is rigged. And if you don't pay attention, guys, don't mind my ripped top right here. If you don't pay attention, okay, if you don't pay attention, you quickly realize that, wait, I'm falling for the system for what? For the Benjamins, when all of it is meaningless because we all die the same way anyways, broke with nothing to come. Steve Jobs left multi-million, hundreds of millions Steve Jobs left in his bank account. Meaningless. That's the beautiful thing. Death is the equalizer. It equals all of us. But let's carry on back to the video. That was a funny moment.
And tell me that he had finally woken up. He admitted to me that he had been indoctrinated and he didn't realize how divided we had actually become. He told me that he missed our friendship and he was saddened because how many years that he had missed out on. Years of memories that are just gone. Not just gone, but missed opportunities because he was too blind to see what was really happening. Before that, our conversations always ended in insults. And that positivity that we once had when we were children was just completely gone. And this isn't a story about politics, but the divide was because of politics. It's a story about what can happen when we let other people miss out on us. And by giving each other space, we both had time to reflect on our wrongs, not just his, mine as well. Because I accept my faults in this situation too. In that time that we had to reflect, we were both able to grow and see the bigger picture. And in the end, that distance ended up bringing us closer together. One of the most challenging things we can do is learn how to just step back and let somebody else miss out on us. And that's because it goes against every instinct we have. We are hardwired to connect with people that we are close to. But sometimes just letting go is the only way to move forward. So ask yourself, are you constantly giving to a relationship that doesn't give anything back? Are you bending over backwards and sacrificing your peace or your happiness or your authenticity? And if the answer to those questions is yes, it might be time to let these people miss out on you. And I'll admit, it's not easy, but when a relationship has run its course, you may feel a sense of loss or guilt, but the more that you honor your needs, the more you will see the value in yourself. And people who genuinely care for you, they will respect your decision. And those who don't will just fall away. Sometimes the people that we allow to miss out on us are the ones that are constantly draining us. Those toxic relationships with our friends or family or colleagues, they just sap our energy and cloud our sense of self-worth. They fill us with doubt, negativity, and resentment. And to let these people miss out on you is to reclaim your power and your abilities. It's a very courageous thing to break free from those relationships that just no longer serve you. Because it's not about burning bridges or seeking revenge. It's simply about living. It's simply about freeing yourself so that you can live in peace. These toxic people, they often keep us trapped in cycles of guilt and fear and obligation. And by letting these people go, we free ourselves to be able to live to our values and our morals. When you let those people miss out on you, you're standing up for yourself. You're saying that I value myself enough to not allow others bring me down, and I will not accept less than I deserve. And this isn't about arrogance either. It's only about self-respect. And you talk about self-respect, my friend mustering up the courage to call me and apologize. People don't apologize anymore because it takes courage to admit that we were wrong. But sometimes standing our ground, it means not letting people push us around and manipulate us. Because for far too long, many of us have allowed others to dictate our lives. We've allowed others to dictate our self-worth. But when we let people miss out on us, we are able to reclaim that power. We stand tall, rooted in who we are and exactly what it is that we believe. And that strength, it comes from within. And it's not something that can be taken away by the opinions and the judgments of others. When we refuse to let others diminish us, we will then start to build a life that is truly ours. And when we allow others to miss out on us, something truly amazing will happen. Because those people who truly care, who genuinely value us and our relationship, they will eventually come to realize what they're missing. And sometimes it takes distance for them to appreciate what they had. And that friend I told you about, he did eventually realize what he was missing. And those years that we spent apart and that silence that we had, it gave him the opportunity and the time to reflect. And it was only after allowing him to miss out on me that he came to see our relationship in a whole different light, our world in a whole different light, the entire system around us in a whole different light. And I am truly happy that he did. And I am very grateful that he did, because that relationship has been one of the most impactful relationships in my entire life. And hearing from him, it truly did mean the world to me. And the exact same thing can happen in your lives. And when you set those boundaries, the people who are meant to be, or the people that are meant to remain in your life, they will respect that. They'll eventually realize the value that you bring. And if they don't, then it's their loss, not yours. And letting other people miss out on you, it's not just about cutting ties either. It's also about embracing our freedom. It's about living life on our terms, without feeling weighted down by the expectations or the judgments of others. This freedom allows you the opportunity to build other relationships with people who actually value you, people who actually truly respect your relationship and you as a person, people who will support you. When we stop worrying about pleasing everyone, we open ourselves up to the opportunity for relationships that uplift us. We're given the opportunity to become more aligned and with our true selves and with our own authenticity, our own authentic self. And that's when we attract the right people, the people that bring positivity, the people that bring encouragement and love. So let those people miss out on you. Don't be afraid to set those boundaries and stand your ground, to let go of what no longer serves you. Yes, it is hard. And yes, it might feel lonely at times. But in that space of solitude, you will be able to find strength, clarity, and peace. You have to remember, you don't owe anybody an explanation, because you chose peace over chaos. You're choosing happiness over toxicity and growth over stagnation. Letting people miss out on you is not an act of cruelty. It's an act of self-respect. And in the end, it's oftentimes going to be the most loving thing that you can do for yourself and for those other people. And remember, if they were meant to be in your life, they will eventually realize it. They will eventually realize what they're missing. And if they don't, then that's okay too. Life goes on. We need to surround ourselves with people who see our worth, who respect our boundaries, and who cherish the gift of our presence. So if you made it this far, do me a favor and go down in the comments section and write that word gift. Just that one word. Just that one word gift. Each one of us is a gift to this universe, to this world.
Let me mute this real quick. Being alone. Actually, let me read the one with 3,000 likes. We don't walk away to teach people a lesson. We walk away because we have learned our lesson. Ghost. Wow. Ghost meaning just disappear. Okay. And then plus, in that disappearance, it gives you time to really work on yourself and try to see, okay, well, the individual I was when I was 21, 22 is not the same right now, being 32, 31, 40s, progressing to your 50s. You know what's scary though? A lot of people haven't even learned this lesson and they're in their 50s. They still haven't woken up and realized, wait, I need to prioritize myself. In order for me to be able to help out others, I need to be strong myself. If I'm not strong, how can I lift somebody over a cliff? A cliff. If they're falling and I'm weak, I haven't prioritized going to the gym. Oh, who cares anyways? We're all going to die one day. And then your child or any loved one, they're hanging off a cliff. Yes, it's extreme. No problem. Well, that's extreme because that would never... Yeah, say that to the guy who it happened to. It's extreme. Yes, it's true. There's 8 billion people. What you think my wife is ever going to be over a cliff and I have to save them? Yes, say that to the guy it happened to. Do you get the gist? So it's everybody else until it's you. Then you want to, oh, if only. It's like, well, why don't you just prepare yourself? Because you might just be that unlucky. It might just be you. And that's just with that scenario. But when it comes to the scenario of building The Bible says a wise man leaves an inheritance for his children's children, leaving something not just for your kids or for your children, but for yourself. Have you ever, okay, what is retirement going to look like? I need to really work. It doesn't matter what age you are. Nobody's coming to save you, especially if you're a man. We live different lives comparing to women. Completely different. Nobody comes to rescue you as a guy. That's why, look at all the homeless people. Isn't it a bit strange? They just all happen to be men. Majority of them. Well, there's a few women. Yes, I know. Okay. It's not an exception. My minority, okay, doesn't disprove the rule. Majority of them are male. And when you ask their stories, and trust me, I used to work a job where all I got to do was to interact with people. And the majority of them will tell you, I used to have a nice house, wife this, but my wife, for some reason, something happened. She divorced. She wanted to divorce and then took the kids away from me, and now I'm here. When you see the amount of women who initiate divorce, when you look at the stats, it is scary. It is scary. So as a man, if you're not prepping yourself to be self-sustaining, and if you're not putting God first, if you're not seeking God, oh my days, you'll very quickly realize. And I hope it never happens to you, my friend. Take this as a warning, but get your finances in order. Get yourself, your health in order. Your health comes first. Health is wealth, as they say. But in 2024 or nearing the end of 2024, it's more real and true than ever. Get your health, finances in check, and your spirituality in check. I'm not talking about seeking crystals and all this satanic beliefs. I'm on about Christ, the God of the Bible. Yes, I'm not ashamed to say it. The God of the Bible, Jesus Christ. Seek him. As someone, take us from someone who never used to quite believe. I'm just owing up to my truth because God knows. With certain doubts. And then seeking and now ending up here. Recommend which video you want me to check out next. But all I have to tell you, young man, is, or young or old man or middle-aged man, get your finances in order and seek God and watch your life begin to change in real time. I'm Ronny MP and I salute this message.